So we are going to start our new project, which is basically Java email application, and you can say email system with some server deployment, JSP and Java servlet. So if you know, there are different email APIs to send email, which is basically text email I'm going to send here. So for that purpose, I'm going to use different protocols, some APIs, which are very stable APIs now. So sometimes you are going to develop some bigger web app for a company or consider one company which needs that. They are having some administrative app for each and every employee, but to send email in that employee's condition, you can create one some microservice for that purpose. So it's not exactly microservice I'm going to deploy. I'm just going to deploy server deployment, some JSP application here. So this is it, our project title, which is basically Java email application. So what is our project aim? Which is basically we are going to develop email system to send and receive mails using Java Servlet. Receiving mails is quite a tough job while doing this because of I'm going to use here Gmail as my mail protocol, or we can say server. So there may be some authentication errors sometimes, or we can say there may be some handshake SSL errors also, so we need to recover from that. Receiving mail is not very tough job, but it's very complex job while I'm using Gmail because it's not very open source mail, as if you know. You can try another mails also, like Rediff mail. There are different servers for that purpose. My suggestion is I'm going with Gmail because it's very simple and all the things. But if you want to use 100% open source mail and you find everything code, you can use Thunder Mail or Proton Mail also, which is 100% open source mail systems. So you can do that, or if you want to use another, you can use your own SMTP server. If you have, you can use that also for this deployment. So our project aim is develop email system to send and receive mails. First task is sending mail. After that, we will see how we can receive our mails using Java Servlet technology. I'm not using here pure Servlet technology. I'm using Java as my mail sending backend as a server deployment. Uh, so I'm using here JSP also for front end part, or we can say efficient for front end part. So steps of our development is project setup, how we are going to set up our project first, understanding different tools we are going to use here, what the dependency injection, everything I'm going to tell here. Then some Java basics, what is the SMTP protocol here, then what is the JSP basics, Java serverless, dependency related application, and deployment of the server is the final step. So that's it about our project aim and everything. So let us see application requirements. JSP pages to find the JSP. Here I am mentioning only JSP pages, but consider I am accessing their different also CSS file, bootstrap files to create some UI for receive mail. Sending mail is very easy. I am going to create some Java libraries I am going to use here. Then Gmail account, you should have Gmail account or any SMTP server account you have. Permission to access that account, I will tell you what permissions you needed there. Then Java basics to create classes and everything, you need to understand that. Java OOPS concepts, object oriented programming concepts, because I'm not considering only one class to create or send that mail. I'm going to create some different classes and I'm going to use some OOPS concepts here. And some server deployment concepts. Why I'm telling server deployment concepts? Deployment of on server is very easy task for IDE, but you should understand while developing you may get errors, so you should understand what are the errors. Then JDK 16 and some Maven dependencies also we are going to use. IDE, I'm preferring JetBrains IDE because it's very useful IDE. While injecting dependencies, it will automatically ask for that Maven dependencies and everything. If you comfortable with another IDE, you can proceed with that IDE, but I'm proceeding with IntelliJ IDEA, JetBrains IDE. Glassfish server or Tomcat server, I preferably say that Tomcat server because you can change your port directly in that server, so no need to ask it again and again for changing the server or mentioning the domain. Tomcat server you can easily put throughout the console only. So these are the application requirements. So let us see what are the functional requirements. So what is the difference between application requirements? Application is just for development, but functional requirements are useful to create some classes, everything. So I'm not going very deep in that part, but let us check what are the functional requirements. So JSP pages and Java programs, both are different. I am creating here. Considering I am not here using any database to store such emails, but in a real life, what happens actually, that email service also backend by database to store their emails in the database. Why I'm not using this? Because this is very primary considering I'm email application. If you want to create database also, you can go with that, or you can develop on cloud also, like Google Cloud or AWS Cloud. You can use Amazon Cloud. There are different solutions available on internet. You can use MongoDB for that database consideration, because email is not just text part. There are files also, there are images also, so you can use that MongoDB part because it's very advanced database. So for my purpose, I am considering only text and everything here, so I'm not using any database here. JSP page. JSP page is basically UI and front end to send mail first, then connecting that logic is the second thing, and having some fields like addresses, subject, body of mail, everything you can use with JSP. Also, in addition with UI, I need some CSS files and some bootstrap file I'm using here as default template for receiving email. Then Java programs, which is basically main logic behind the sending, authentication part, handshaking part I'm going to use here. Access to any mail service Java program having that purpose, but here I'm using Gmail service because it's very easy to create that part. And some mail receiving fields, printing in console, you can do that part also. So that's it about how we are proceeding with the functional requirements. So let us see how we can set up our project first. So let me go to my ID first and let me configure this first. Okay, so this is my IntelliJ idea. You can check the front end part also here. So let me just customize this, because customize. Okay. So this is my IntelliJ idea homepage. You can see here. You can choose the default themes, everything here. So I set it to light theme. So I here you can see your previous projects if you already created. If not created, you can check here blank theme. I'm using here IntelliJ IDEA Ultimate Edition. You can use Community Edition also, no worries. And there are plugins and everything here. Before proceeding with anything, let me tell you two things here I am specifying again and again, which are very important here. First is download Smart Tomcat, which is Tomcat server plugin, which is very useful. And try to download this multi-run. It's not community preferred, but it's very useful while developing this. And Maven plugin, which is already developed, but try to, if you installed already, try to update this plugin, which is we are going to use. So just go to projects. When you go to the projects, you can check here new projects, click on new projects. So due to system load, for me it will take time to do this. So it is taking time. Okay. So as you can see, previously you can see this window, not the previous window. Defaultly you can check this window. Then go to the Java Enterprise. If you are using so not Ultimate Edition, Community Edition, you cannot see these things. So just go with Java and you can add it later, that part. But my preference, if you are using this, you are going to create Java Enterprise Edition. Give the name here. So due to system load, it's taking time for me. So sometimes you may face these errors while developing this. Okay, so in demo, let me give the name as email application. Okay, email application. Give the location, then web application. If you cannot see any server, no application server, go to new and choose here Tomcat server and give the directory. I already downloaded Tomcat 9.4.8, its latest server, and you can use that. Click here web application, choose Maven, choose language Java, JUnit, and change group to Azure. So I am adding here email. 16th version you can choose any, so I am using 16th. It will automatically detect. If not, you have to add the JDK and you are good to go with this. So okay, so it will take time to load that. Okay, now it's loaded. Click next. It will show the Java 8 EE version. Choose this only because after this Jakarta is started, so the syntax is different. So I am using here Java EE 8 version. Click here web profile, or what you can do is instead of putting the web profile, you can use add this WebSocket and the servlet. So that's it we are going to use here. No JSON or anything not we are going to use here. You can use your bin validation also, but it's not again required. If you create web profile, you can see everything is added, but add servlet and XML web services also, if you want to add, you can add, but I am adding here. Don't add anything, click finish. So it will create default project for you with some index.jsp files, some servlet files. So you are going to delete that files because these are not required. Index.jsp as it is, but another files we are going to delete that. So this is all about how we can set up our project. So it will automatically create the system default project as your requirements. Sometimes it may take time because of some loading issues and everything, because it's very useful IDE. It takes time sometimes to develop everything. So now it's loading, it's preparing workspace for me. So wait for some time, it will automatically create everything for me. So as you can see, it's processing for hello servlet, which is we are going to delete that because we are not required for that purpose. So we just required index.jsp and servlet files, which are I'm going to create in next tutorial. But in this tutorial, I'm just focusing on the setup, how we are going to set up, and some servlet concepts also. So let me tell you what is the pom.xml. This is the dependency injection. I am using here Maven as my project, not Gradle or Ant. I am using Maven. So beautiful thing of Maven, I don't require to download any jar files or anything. It will automatically use that files through everything. As you can see, this is Maven loaded, and you can see here Maven console. So let me minimize this part. So this is my index.jsp. Let me zoom out this. And this is my hello servlet. So this is package, and here you can see in the src main, if you go to, these are the views here. If I go to packages menu, you cannot see because it's currently loaded and indexing everything. But if I go to Java, you can see in the com part, which is basically application part, you can see this email and everything. So email application and everything. So I'm going to delete this later because I'm not interested in that part. And in web app for the all the web containing part. So it's importing all the Maven thing here. because Maven is just like dependency injection. You have to specify the dependency as a XML in the pom.xml, and it will create everything for me. So it's indexing, as you can see in the download. Once it's loaded, it will defaultly give me everything. So while it's loading, it's now loaded. Just go to your Tomcat and edit configuration. This is the running configuration. So hope you can see this. So I added this file, then redeploy, choose here redeploy. If you want to change, I'm going to change here as 2002. So why I'm changing, because 8080 is coded by my another service, so I'm going to change this. I am going to hit apply here. So as you can see, this is apply and this is my URL. Hit enter. If you want to check your application is running or not, your server is correct or not, just click here run. So now it's indexing. It will take time to index everything. Okay, analyzing. Okay, so hit enter. So it started building. So in this console, like, which is basically the download console, you can see this executing and task. It's running the Maven dependencies. So while doing this building task, let us see what is this. So as you can see, these are the properties of Maven, and this is the dependencies is asking, like Java X servlet. So I haven't mentioned any Java X uh, thing here. I just added this Maven dependency. So it will take automatically dependencies from the internet, and it will give me this JWS Jupyter files also. It's asking. So it's doing all these things on their own in the Maven. So why I'm using here Maven is because of this, because I don't want to download any jar files, specific jar files to develop this. I can just give this pom.xml. So what is the beautiful thing is here, while developing these such cases as an industry level, the system configuration may differs from system to system. Like someone is using another OS and I am using another OS, so it will useful for developing this part also. So currently it's building and it will take time to build everything, but build is complete. Now you can see build is complete successfully. So for the first time building, it will take time. After that, it will not take time to build because we are just adding the files, so it will compile that. Building takes some 1 minute 20 seconds. So as you can see, and if you go to the service, currently service is not started, but it's building now. So for the first time building, it will take time. After that, it won't take time at all for the building purpose. So as you can see, build is finished. Now I am connecting to the service and it's running, and its output is going to display. So it's creating everything, it's picking everything, and sometimes you may get some this note and everything here. Just try to stick and wait for some time to deploy everything. As you can see, connected to the server, it will automatically create server for me. So wait for some time, it will automatically deploy server for you. So as you can see, these are the startup in the server. You can see these are the local host things, and now you can see these are the JSP. This is the JSP page basically for me, and if I click hello servlet, I can go to this hello world part, which is basically my servlet part. So my server is running now. Let me close this server. So as per the system loads on my system, sometimes it may take time to this. So this is the pom.xml, and now what I'm going to mention is here you can delete this everything, delete, and you can clear out this JSP also till this, because this is no more required thing for us. And save this, and you can delete this common.xml also. So in further videos, I'm going to create Java and index.html. Hope you understand this part. I will tell you the basics of servlets, everything. So in the next videos, let us also consider some these dependency injections also. I will tell you. Thank you.